what I do with my clients is we have a video session usually for 90 minutes. What I do is I record the audio of the whole session, and then I send a copy to my client or my student, and I get them to repeat everything, to go through the whole session again and listen to everything again. Now, if you understand not just the practicality, but also the psychology of that, of listening to yourself. I am sure that you have had conversations with your son where you are thinking, are you listening to yourself? Are you listening to what you're saying? Right? And it's very, it's not just a problem with young people. It's very hard with anybody to get them to listen to themselves. And so one of the main reasons that I do this is not just for the practice of language, but to get them to go through that complex activity of listening to themselves, which is really difficult, because then they learn what other people see and hear. Because what other people see and hear is not what we think it is, right? It's much more complex than that. And the basis of language, why we learn a language, is to communicate effectively, to communicate more efficiently, more concisely, more correctly. And this whole process of a feedback loop of self-evaluation is one of the most important skills in life for people. And so it's a whole holistic process of self-development where it's not just, oh, you go to a session and the session finishes and you go on and do the next thing. No, it's you go to the session, you experience the whole session, and then you have to listen to yourself again. And we all know how hard it is to listen to ourselves, right? It's hard, right? You give a speech for 5 or 10 minutes and you listen back to it, and you okay, that could be better, right? Right? It's hard for everybody, and if that can be introduced to people, especially young people at a younger age, this technique of self-evaluation, and they can become comfortable with it, it's a skill that they can carry with them into wherever they're going in their life next. This ability to understand what other people see, and when you know what it is that other people see, you can make corrections to yourself, and that's what you can control. The only thing that you can control is yourself, really, and so you can make those changes and corrections that you need to solve all different kinds of problems. And so there's a program of learning. There's specific activities related to listening skills and reading skills and writing skills and using digital technology as well. But there's actually so much more. I've discovered there's so much more that's possible in this medium than was possible before, because you couldn't do this before, right? I couldn't do this before with my clients, but now I can record an entire session, and my clients have that session forever, which basically makes myself redundant, right? My clients, because a lot of education is repetition, and I think repetition is what kills teachers. I think you repeat the same thing again. Oh, what are you doing this year? Oh, the same as I did last year. I'm repeating it again and again. And after 30 years of 2 + 2 = 4 to 5,000 presentations of it, your brain stops working, or you go mad, or you lose focus is what really happens. You lose focus, and you see all these teachers in schools like right, and they're tired. We say dog tired. They're very tired. They're tired because they're repeating the same thing again. And the only way to to energize life is to keep moving forward and to not be repeating the same thing again and again and again. And so with this digital process, I get an opportunity to never have to repeat the same thing twice. Because I can just say to somebody, you know we did it, you know where it is, go back and listen to it again, and I don't have to repeat the same thing. Because if you want a talking monkey, or a parrot or whatever it is, right? That's not me, okay? So the aim is to keep moving forward, and I know that if I keep doing that, then the people I work with can keep doing that as well. And I think I said this to you before. It's like I don't want to be exactly at the same point at the same time each year. I'm like, I'm going to do this and change this and move this and try this and see what keeps things working. There's also, here's another thing which is kind of interesting, is that young people get to see that just because it doesn't have to stay that way. Because a lot of their experiences are, dad has his job and mom has her job, and that doesn't really change, and we go to school and the school system doesn't really change, and it's nice to have stability. That's great, but we also want to understand the other side. And the other side of stability is if you want something better in life, you have to make changes. And so that all comes into the process that I'm working with right now. And there's other great little things, like as I'm working, I can make digital notes, and we can use images and pictures, and I can bring in other information from the internet, and I think it's valuable, and it's about bringing value. Education is about bringing value to people, not just giving them something, but giving them something they can use, and that's what's giving them something they can apply, something that's applicable, not just here's present perfect continuous or here's a list of adjectives to learn. Please, no. No. It's like asking someone to learn all the different types of butterflies. It's yeah. It's crazy. And when we see the world that young people are growing up in, with the digital technology, the mobile phone is in their hand. It's very it's very fast. Everything is moving so quickly, and it's worth understanding what their world is and trying to meet them in that world, because that's what's relevant to them.